Good morning, good afternoon, good evening all, it's Bear here. And I'd like to welcome you to my YouTube channel, A Box With No Lid. A channel I'm creating not just to bring the awareness around the lived reality of trauma, complex trauma and removal trauma creates and what it means to come from this base. But I really want to bring what I've learned through my own personal experiences and my many years as a practitioner and as an advocate. With the simple hope that something you may learn or hear here will be helpful in improving the quality of your lives and helpful in your healing, but also to bring the awareness to be able to support those and have the conversations that are needed who live this stuff if you're one that hasn't come from an adoption or a foster care base. Yes, this is the next video in the adoption series. And in a moment, I'm going to show you a couple of clips from TikTok, from social media, and some memes and posts, not personal posts, but meme posts that people have posted in adoptee forums with the hope that it creates an understanding. Because what this video is about is what happens when the fairy tale ends. You know, the world has this fairy tale idea around adoption and how it's your forever family and these wondrous heroes choose these children that are unwanted, abandoned or orphaned and save them from horrible lives and bring them into their home and blah 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 blah. This whole rhetoric, this whole belief. And in the first video on TikTok, if you found it I will put what I'm able to put up there for it, and I trust that I'm not breaching any of the copyright guidelines as it is on an open platform. But if you looked at the comments, the people that worship these people, that put themselves up to do these things without any understanding of the reality and what is involved in raising somebody else's child, all the complexities, is what I want this video to be about, and the base of where I'm coming from with this. There are some wonderful people out there that put their hand up to raise other people's children that do a phenomenal job. A singer that I'm following in another country, I love the way she sings. She comes from a very similar base to me. And she was found by a woman's daughter in a place, and the daughter asked the mother to bring her home, and she did. And she supported her to become such an amazing person and a very a unique singer with a way of expressing emotion that most of us could only ever dream about it, learning how to. I'm torn between this, and then I see, the other side of it with adoptees that I know in my own personal experiences and many others, where the adoption experience is horrific. And there's all these realities and places in between and perspectives and understandings in between. I get all of that. But where I'm coming at with this video is the hype and the fallacies that are created by the open promotion by organizations that are only in the placement of long-term placement and adoption services. They're only in it for the money. They're not wondrous organizations. I have had countless meetings with so many of them, private sector and government and religious organizations, and all of them have they have quotas. They view us as product. We are marketable. They come up with ideas that are insane in regards to promotion of children. They put foster kids on parades with a room full of prospective people that might want, I'll take that one. They put us in catalogues. There's tours to where you can go to certain countries, stay in a resort, go for a tour of an orphanage that they choose, pick your baby out of a catalogue, go back to your hotel, get your massages, your 5-star chef meals, enjoy the pool, and in a couple of days the paperwork is done and your baby's delivered to you. This is the reality in so many facets and sectors of the world that is adoption. And there's so many that are far more horrific than that I can't put out on this platform because this video will get taken down. But when you've been around this stuff as long as I have, and when you participate in inquiries, and when you participate in all these different forums trying to create change, you come across some of the most horrific things people could do to people in this circumstance. As I've said numerous times, the reality of when you mix money and children, bad things will always happen. Now, back to these videos. I'm going to play them shortly. And I want you guys to understand where I'm coming from with this. And I want you guys to realize what I'm trying to show with this video. So here's video 1. Here's the video 2.
Okay. Good morning. Wow.
Now, the memes that are playing in the background show the perspective of adoptees, and I just picked these at random. If you're, adoptee and you remember these forums, we see these posts all the time. Being an adopted, we also see these videos promoting adoption and showing it in this wondrous miracle light, and these people are heroes. And all of that negates our own experiences. And it creates this belief. The greatest obstacle I've ever had in this whole advocacy side of things, in the system of trying to create change in meetings with governments and agencies and so forth, is their need to protect the mechanism of adoption and long-term placement. And the propaganda, and it is propaganda around it, because they need people to take these children because they have nowhere else to put them. They don't do anything to work on preventing the reasons why so many children end up in care. They don't do anything about the circumstances around the sexualization of teenagers to the point where they have children at a young age without the capacity to raise them. And they don't do anything about the belief within child services that anyone under the age of 18 shouldn't have a kid, and they take them at will. They convince them, they work on them because there is money. Adoption is a multi-billion-dollar, enterprise globally. Multi-billions and billions of dollars are made. Churches base their entire structure upon this and have done for over a century. When we start to really take the masks off and look at the truth, the main point I'm trying to make with this video is not to criticize adoption. It's to break through the delusions of all the propaganda around it, because when those of us that live it, hit the walls that our removal creates, when we try to challenge to find the answers we need to get the help we need to get the understanding we need to get the service provisions we need, all the procedures, the processes, like the ID stuff that I've talked about in other videos, we hit this wall of this need to protect the ideology that adoption is this hero thing or this phenomenal thing. And because we're there, we're there to challenge it because we're trying to find an answer that we need, it becomes our fault. And then you look at it in the context of when adoptions fail, and so many do to various degrees of destructivity. It's always our fault. When you look at what is involved in removing children and placement, when you look at what coming from a dysfunctional home base creates, We know it. If you do the rounds of any prison in the world, the majority of people in there come from this destructive base, from a family destructive base, from a removal base, from a foster care base, or from an adoption base. We know what it creates. When you do the rounds of detox, drug and alcohol detox facilities, rehabilitation facilities, you get the same thing. There is a reason this stuff is so complex and hard. And all of the complexity is avoided. And we need to have the conversations to stop avoiding it, not just to get the resources and understandings in place to help those like us who live it, like myself who live it, but also to work on ways and strategies to change perspectives in societies and circumstances in society so that more and more children are not dumped into this system or not removed and placed into this system for the wrong reasons. We as a society need to take control of what we are creating. And to do this, me and people like me out there, we all trying to burst the bubble of delusions, burst the bubble of misinformation, the real misinformation, not the stuff governments throw about so easily, the real stuff, the stuff that's hiding the actual truth of people's lives and experiences. So take us a moment and listen. Take what we're trying to say on board. Look at the videos that I've posted within this video, and when you see them online in other places, understand where we're coming from and understand the complexity is far greater than those videos will ever portray. I thank you guys for your time. Please be mindful, please be respectful, and I will see you all next time. Hope.